After living and sailing on our sailboat Nandji for 7 years, we sold her and have purchased a bigger vessel for our family.
Bye-bye, Nandji.
Our new Tiana 47 has been sitting on the hard for a few years, meaning we have some pretty big projects ahead to transform this vessel into her former glory. SV Independence has been ours for a couple of weeks now, and we've been diving headfirst into the repairs, ripping out the old and rebuilding the water-damaged interior. Steadily, the work is progressing and we hope to splash her in the very near future, providing there is no major hiccups along the way.
I've really just been concentrating on fixing the obvious rot and stuff and all under the tank and making it livable in here. But the big thing that you kind of forget, and when it's looking pretty and things are coming back together, is that the leaks, I think, are pretty much through all the stanchion bases, which we need to rebed before we go in. So inside of all the cupboards, there's sort of like the false teak, which is the ceiling of the cupboards. So you need to pull that down to get underneath, so we can see the bolts of the capping rail, of even the jib sheet tracks, because maybe these are the things that are leaking, and then that's what's caused the top of these veneers and the top of the cupboards to rot. So while we've done all this and it's all looking good in this area, there's other spots where we need to start ripping shit out of. For example, here we go. Like, that's gotta go. But you can see, so the main rot is around here, and to me that looks like drip marks in a triangle, which is what I found in another cupboard. And I bet you we go up there, yep, straight there, there's a stanchion that goes through just there. So definitely have to just rebed all the footings of the stanchions, and I reckon that's going to solve a lot of the leaks. I don't think it's leaking through the screws in the deck, eh? Like, I totally think the leaks are just around the outside and it's through these stanchion rails. Alright, so you can see under here, this triangle pad, that's the backing plate of the stanchion. So that's the hull of the boat right there. I guess it's to make the cupboard look pretty. I think I'll put a piece back in there again. Oh, that's solid. That's solid. That's solid. Oh, that's just ripping apart. There is old white ants. I think a very long time ago this boat might have had white ants, because there is a few bits of timber like that one. Look at that, that's just termites had eaten it through. But because the boat's majority teak, termites don't eat teak, so they've just they've eaten where they could and it's rotted out. That's a very old nest. There's no signs of termites on here, so I'm not fazed about it. But yeah, maybe many years ago, many moons ago. Whilst I felt that cupboard was nice and clean and ready to be rebuilt, you can see the everything going on, I thought, well, while we're making a mess, let's go over here into this cupboard and do the same thing. And then I discovered that this bit of wall between the cupboard and the cupboards. So I started going into this one. Wonder what Bonita's gonna think when she sees this. So there's a little bit more replacing than we first thought. Of course there was going to be. But it's lucky I got heaps of wood. As long as I can make really good jigs and match these pieces really well will be sweet, but it's all going to come down to the skill.
Get off of my boat.
Right, well, today's a big day. We're actually picking up all of the boat's stuff from all the inventory stuff for the boat from storage. We haven't actually looked at any of this yet, so we have a little bit of an idea of what the boat came with, but we haven't seen it all yet. So we're just down here about to pick it up. All the sails here on the top, but we kind of want to go through the stuff and just have a look at what's there and decide what we want to keep and what we want to throw away. So we're just going to move all the sails off of the boxes and then go through it a little bit and work out what's actually here. Yeah, this one looks like it would be an old one, maybe, and then this one would be the new one.
Yeah. This is the main sail. Look at the size of it compared to Nandji.
Yeah.
But so this boat does have new sails that were never put under the boat. So Independence was hauled out to go on a hard stand, new sails bought and then put into storage. So these here have never really been unrolled.
That's incredible.
They've been sitting in here, it's not aircon.
Stinky?
Smells fresh, baby!
We'll have to get
They're good! Yeah, we got some fishing rods.
Woohoo!
Beer!
Yeah.
Independence!
Wow! Got a slab?
Fill up flares and life vests, beer, and tackle boxes. It's got a heap of fishing gear actually.
Yeah.
I wonder what's in this bag. This is... Oh, look at those corroded zips.
Mystery.
Multi-function.
It's not in here. Oh, where do I start? I found another box for the rain marine box. This was inventory round one. We just went through all the boxes and threw out stuff that was obvious that we didn't want, and we're still left with a whole lot of stuff here, so we're going to have to cut this down further, but I think it's going to stay here until we're ready to move on board, and then we can you know, wash all the cushions, and there's a huge job ahead just to get all this stuff on the boat. We're going to have to like wash everything, and
so we're going to have to allow a couple of days just for this.
Yeah, this is a huge job.
Here we are thinking we're going to go in the water soon. We need a lot.
Yeah.
Not really.
So we've cut down everything and this is what's left.
I guess there wasn't a lot of nice surprises. There was a few little things, like we found the char plotter, which was key. There is a lot of fishing gear, which I'm pretty stoked about to go through. Quite a few rods, so that's sick, but otherwise there wasn't like heaps of like, yeah, score!
I thought there was.
It was still good, there's a lot of gear. Like,
yeah.
Heaps of safety gear, heaps of like all the flares, lanyards, harnesses, and that sort of gear. Yeah, a fair bit of diving gear, that was actually pretty good, eh?
Yeah.
I'm happy. Lots of sails, I'm stoked with the sails. That was the key aspect, was the electronics and the sails, and stoked.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm happy. Good.
Yeah. What did we get with Nandji?
A heap of shit.
We actually had a few people come around to us in the boatyard and ask if we had any work for them. They work on boats and they don't have any work at the moment, and we actually have a lot of things to do. My mum is here, so we're trying to juggle that as well, and so we've delegated. So we've got a guy buffing the sides and we've got another guy sanding the hull. So the outside of Nandji is just getting a full makeover. Heaps of stuff going on at the moment while Yosh is still in the aft cabin sorting out the bedroom back there. So it's all systems a go.
Come off, huh? Oh, it's amazing how quickly things get done when there's extra hands, you know, like many hands make light work. Just watching the guys change the rudder over really made me realise that, and I've got to remember that I'm just one man and there's a lot of jobs to do, so you really have to harvest out some of these tasks. And the couple of lads outside, they've been buffing the sides. They've got one side of the boat done, which is really nice, and the bottom's all sanded back. Like big jobs that you know, I concentrate on downstairs and then go outside, and like there's just all this cool stuff happening. Since I removed all those rotted cupboards and in the back there, we'll give the old hull a bit of a scrub, but we still want to cover them up and you know, make the cupboard still a little bit pretty, so when you do look in the back you don't see the hull. It also should help with insulation and condensation on the outside there, so your clothes don't go stinky. So I've made these little jigs, and we're gonna have to see how accurate Josh's carpentry is, because I know I sort of lack the skills in this area. But it's inside the cupboard, so it can't matter too much. But yeah, so we make one up for each little area, for each little cupboard, because they're all going to be individual and they're all different. Though we'll just see how we go, eh? Then cut them in half so they fit in the cupboard. The jig I made is to fit the whole area of the in the inside of the cupboard, but because the cupboard's only got a small entrance there to get it all in, just going to chop them in half and then we'll just stick them together inside the cupboard.
A lot has happened on Nandji 2.0, so much so it's been hard to keep up with it, to be honest. One of the big jobs that has happened on here is we've cleaned the deck with oxalic acid. So the acid was a little bit diluted and then put on the deck for about 10 minutes, and then it was scrubbed. So it was scrubbed against the grain across it like this, and then it was hosed off again. So it's come up quite bright. It's gotten rid of that real dark grayish color. It is still a little bit gray, but it's a lot brighter than what it was, and there was a bit of build-up of mold and stuff like that on top of it, because it has been sitting under this cover for a few years. So any moisture in here has just caused a bit of yucky stuff on the deck here. So it looks so much better, it looks so fresh, and we're actually kind of considering just refurbishing it to keep it for a little bit longer. We do have to replace it eventually, but we're hoping that maybe if we rebung it and maybe recork it a little bit, we can keep it for a little bit longer, but still to be decided. Let me know in the comments what you think about that and if it's worked out for you. But yeah, have a look at it. The same oxalic acid was also used on the cabin top, so it's come out much brighter. It's gotten rid of those, we had a few rust stains that have been removed, and yeah, it's just looking very bright and white and fresh and gorgeous. So really happy with how this has turned out, and yeah.
Tap them out, are you okay?
I'm making up a cardboard template inside the cupboard so that we can put a new veneer on the back of it. Yeah. Once we fixed up all the leaks and stuff from the deck, then we can put the new cupboard and new veneers in and cover it all back up again. First template done. This is the first one I've ever done, so let's hope it goes okay. How do we get it back in?
Can it go up? Up?
A lot of the flooring was quite soft the ones that pull up that are part of the bilge, they were quite soft and breaking a little bit. We sent them all off to a woodworker and he's re-backed them all with marine ply, so they're solid and sturdy now. He did say that he made them 5 mil higher than what they were, but he thinks it'll be okay. So I just need to put them all in and check before he runs away.